everybody, happy Thursday to you. Good afternoon. Mark again here at WeatherMan Plus. Thank you so much for all y'all prayers for my children. It was a long night. They are doing so much better. All they have pretty much now is the sniffles. So God bless you all. I appreciate your prayers. That means so much to me. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if I'm ever late on uploading every day, check my community tab on my channel. I always post what's going on in my life. Now we have an extreme setup coming very soon. It is bringing fires, and we're talking today. Big area, elevated, critical area for fires. Plus, we have this storm system that's coming from the southwest. It will be going over the deep south. I know y'all need rainfall. This will create flooding as well. And we have a natural hurricane repellent that is going to pretty much slow to stop the rest of our hurricane season. Now, we do have a wave coming through Central American Gyre, and there is a chance to get a front-induced low, so we still have an area to look for later in October. After that, we're looking pretty good. Now, right now, the storm is just starting to come in through the Great Lakes. You are getting some storms over here for Florida, southern Florida, and it is bringing some strong winds. Right now, 40 miles per hour wind gusts, and it is moving east at 9 miles per hour. You also have some storms in the northeast that's bringing 40 miles per hour wind gusts, and the storm is moving 45 miles per hour to the east. This is a very fast moving cell. Another cell, 28 miles per hour to the east, bringing 50 miles per hour wind gusts. So there's a lot going on already. Plus hail up here in Michigan, heavy rainfall, a lot of strong winds in the 50s. Now this is all wind gusts, but it's all over the Dakotas and starting to come down a little bit for Nebraska. We got a big area to watch for today and for the next couple of days. And this next Arctic blast we're about to get is going to blast it all the way towards Cuba. So we do have a natural repellent. Let me update you with everything that is about to happen and happening today. Now, right now in the tropics, we have a little area to watch, 20% in the next 5 days. I'm showing this is nothing to worry about. I will check for an update before this video is over, so you have all the latest information. Everything I'm showing you is all the latest model runs and model data. So pay attention because we have a lot going on very soon. And the 2 p.m. update is out and is still at 20%. Still no big deal, guys. Now, when we look at the SpaghettiOs and see possible locations of what could happen with what's in the MDR, the main development region, we're going to start around the 20th. I've always showed and told y'all in the 20s is where we have all this lift potential formation of cyclones before we go into a unfavorable environment for hurricane season. You can see with the Ural, chances for formation out of that system in the MDR is to go west, northwest eventually, while we maybe could get some cold fronts induced. I will go through that. But very weak and not affecting anybody on that system. But matter of fact, our area to watch is in this region right here. This is where our strongest lift is, and this is where the winds are going to come in. Our hurricane repellent is going to start milding down the temperatures all in the ocean, but its winds are going to come down and hit right along the front where the winds are coming up from the south from the Caribbean. And this sometimes can create a spin and create some kind of cyclone formation. We will keep our eye on that. That is still 7 to 8 days away, but that is area that we want to keep a lookout. Anywhere from the western Gulf of Mexico along this front right here. Then as we go later in October, this front is going to lower, and our place to watch out for any kind of cyclones is going to be Central America, across Jamaica, across Turks and Caicos. It's going to be a lot lower, a lot less chances for any formation. If there is formation, it will be front induced. That could happen. Now you can also see this trending with GFS as well. That area to watch in the MDR is going to go west, northwest. No threat to nobody. Nobody in the Caribbean, nobody in the Leeward or Windward Islands, St. John. None of y'all have to worry about what's going on with that wave. But as you can see, GFS is taking it around the same time, but the Central American Gyre is very famous. All you need is a group of thunderstorms to come through that area, and it's very famous for creating a surface low, possible cyclones. GFS is showing that it's going to meet up there and go through the Caribbean. But once it meets up with this front, it is going to turn eventually. So whether it starts sooner or at the end of the Western Caribbean, our area to watch is going to be right here. And this is going to be any time from October 20th all the way to October 26th or maybe even 27th. Now, to give you a little bit of data on that, your potential velocity anomaly lets you know when you have unfavorable environment, looks like this here, or favorable environment, which looks like this here. And you can see that right around the 19th and 20th, we started getting a lot of favorable environment in our region all the way to the late 20s of October. This is according to the Euro. You can see it don't stretch out too far into our Gulf. This will be front-induced systems coming by the Western Caribbean, southeast by the Bahamas, maybe portions of the East Coast. You can also see for comparison with the GFS that it had strong anomalies coming all the way from the 19th through the 20s in our region. And you can see how it's not directly over us. It's a little bit eastern. So that tells me there's going to be some front-induced possibilities coming off these cold fronts we're about to have for a good while. And when you take a look at the long range of the Euro, you can see that it does start around the 20th, but it is going to stop sometime in the very beginning, the first week of November, with chances for favorable environment, because we're going to come into unfavorable environment after that, where thunderstorms could not grow and you don't have to worry about really any hurricanes or tropical cyclones. After that, a very weak amount of lift, maybe something coming off the MDR, but dying down as it gets closer as we go through the middle of November, the end of our hurricane season, November 20th. Now, when you look at our jet stream, you can see we have this system roaring over here. It's what we're dealing with now, pulling the cold air down, giving y'all colder temperatures and bringing the moisture and all these storms to the northeast that they're dealing with. But after this, because we have this big high pressure spinning over here, spinning all this precipitation through Central America, also into the Eastern Pacific, but it gets back into that tropical jet. We have a cutoff low over here, and this is about to get pulled into the jet stream, our tropical jet, our southern jet, and it's going to pull it across Texas to deep south, bring some thunderstorms for y'all as well, the rainfall. Then we're going to have another setup where we get another low pressure coming, pulling even colder air down on the west side while it creates severe weather on the east side of this system. But at the same time, if you take a look at this, you can see how far all these winds are reaching. So anything comes near our area, this is just natural hurricane repellent right there. That is pushing far away. Then our upper level high moves to the west and it starts pushing away for the Caribbean once you get around the 20s. So right around this time, we need to watch out for any front-induced lows as this tropical jet and our jet stream get together, but it still is pushing a lot of winds to the east, to the southeast. Just look at this. Nothing can come anywheres near the U.S. You can see here a little bit better with your streamline winds. Streamlines always direct the traffic, the thunderstorms, that you have your big high pressure right here. But look at all these winds. Look how far they're going into the Atlantic. Look how far they're going into the Caribbean. Just pushing everything away where nothing could come in this direction. Another good thing to note, if you look at the sea surface temperatures right here above my head, this is in August. And if you take a look from August till now with all the warm temperatures that helps fuel these cyclones as they get close, you'll see that all this cold air is starting to push the temperatures away. Now you have it by October 11th. Very cool temperatures all along the edge of the country, and these very warm temperatures are moving further into the Caribbean where it don't affect nobody. However, there will be a front right here that we still need to watch for front-induced cyclones. Now, when you look at your relative humidity, you can see a lot of this going on, as well as this very dry air that is moving in today. Big fire threat for that. Remember, I have all these links in the description so you can go see everything I am talking about. So right here we have what's left of Carl. Carl is getting still beat up by that cold front. It is not heading north. It is pushing it south. But you can see also as these cold fronts come in, all this precipitation comes through. Everything is getting pushed through the Central American gyre to the Eastern Pacific. But at the same time, you can see the storm that brews up over here for the deep south as this cutoff low moves across. Starts raising up precipitable water in your area. You get thunderstorms. And remember, this is our second severe weather season. This is where we have outbreaks usually of tornadoes in the south and the deep south as that moves along after the 18th. But you also can notice that as that cold front comes through, that next tropical wave comes through, we do possibly get a front-induced low coming off the coast of Texas around Monday or Tuesday when this happens with this next big cold front. But it will move across the southeast, and it will be multiple chances of it trying to form up. But just like Carl had problems, this is going to have problems as well. Look how far on relative humidity. You can see how far all this dry air is moving all the way into the Gulf of Mexico. You also can see this with the GFS, and you can see a little bit further. Now, take it with a grain of salt. Of course, anything past 5 days, but I can show you this setup very easily. It's not much change. Just certain areas like the cold fronts reaching way out into the Atlantic, not so far into the Gulf, but it is just not across Texas and Mexico. So it's still different, but you can see the same pattern setup. And after this, potentially another group of thunderstorms forming up in the deep south around the 21st and 22nd, reaching way up into the central U.S., bringing severe weather, and it will go to the southeast as well. So we do need to watch out for this next setup, because this is our second severe weather season. I know you don't need rainfall. I know you don't need the tornadoes or the huge hail. So we need to keep our eye for that. And you can see with your temperatures, it is going to bring some cooler temperatures on down all the way into the late teens. This is where the next blast of cold air is going all the way towards the south. This is with the Ural. By the 18th, coming all the way into our country, looking over here in the Gulf and the East Coast. All this warm temperatures is pushed way back, so you need to watch out right here for your front-induced lows. Then as we move a little bit further, another blast of a cold front comes through, and that comes through pretty strong. But now your cold front is right here, so this is where your front-induced lows could meet up and spin up something as it pushes to the east. Now, of course, I have the next 5 to 7 day temperature outlook, your high and low from National Weather Service. Also link in the description. And for tomorrow, you're going to wake up some very cold temperatures, and that bright green is getting around the freezing temperatures. For tomorrow, this is going to move to the East Coast, a little bit in upper Midwest. Sunday is going to be cold. Monday is going to be cold. Tuesday, this is going to start bringing some very cold temperatures with this next strong jet that's going to the deep south, meeting with our tropical jet. Bring a lot of 20s for people. That's not even counting the wind chills. The wind chills will bring it in the teens. And then Wednesday is going to grow even further. This is going to be a very cold pocket of air that is coming all the way down. Even northern Florida going to be in the 40s wake up temperatures. Now your highs for today, you're still going to be in the 30s and 40s for the upper Midwest. For tomorrow, it's going to stay there. For Saturday, it's going to mild down. But Sunday, when this storm system starts moving from the southwest and trickle across the southeast, you are going to have some cold temperatures that's moving in with y'all. This is your highs for Sunday. Your lows are going to be in the 50s. For Monday, this is going to move more for the upper Midwest, Ohio Valley, but also for the southwest. Now you got some highs in the 50s with your lows in the 40s or 50s. So it is going to be a cold day for Monday and Tuesday as this moves across the U.S. This is the highs for next Tuesday. And the lows is just not much better. We're talking 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s for the highs. And then as you go through Wednesday, it's pretty much going to stick around. So we do have a lot of cold air coming, especially this next system coming across. New Mexico, Texas, y'all need to be aware of this storm system. I know you need rain, but it's bringing a lot of extreme conditions. Now, when you look this on satellite, infrared satellite, you can see all this. You get the cold fronts in Atlantic, you get Carl messing around, but then this upper level low comes off and comes Sunday into Monday, brings thunderstorms in the south central. It also sticks around for Monday as well. Sunday into Monday, you got storms coming across the deep south all the way to the south central. So y'all need to watch out for thunderstorms coming through. I will keep you updated on severe weather and whether it's a tornado threat. So far, it's not looking like it. You also see this with your lightning strikes. So we have these storms for today in the southeast going up to the northeast as well. And then it's going to be mild down for tomorrow. Tomorrow's not really going to be much of a big deal except for fires. And as you go into Saturday, you start getting thunderstorms brewing up all the way from Southern California all the way towards Arkansas, Tennessee, and it does stay there. Look, all that white is indicative to chances for large hail. So there should be an outlook for that, especially for Saturday evening for Arkansas, Tennessee area. And look how it stays around all the way to Sunday as well. All these storms, all that white, indicative to large hail for Sunday, for Oklahoma, for Texas, for Arkansas, as y'all get all these storms. And it's going to stick around for Monday as too. It's going to be a little stronger on Monday for southern Texas as this moves further to the south. And Tuesday leave out. So it is going to bring a long pattern of storms for y'all, a lot of rainfall. Not a whole bunch, but you do need every bit of it. Just be careful of the flooding. Now remember, I have all these warnings from National Weather Service for all you guys. For today, you still have the marginal right here for Texas and the Northeast as these storms brew up, and they will go across Florida, northern Bahamas, and you have some thunderstorms brewing up for California as well towards the Los Angeles regions. But you also have a huge fire threat for today, and we are talking a big area for critical and another area for elevated, and you'll also have that for tomorrow. And you can see this when you look at all of the map. You have high winds right here in the brown. You need to watch out for that. I showed you that in the beginning. But look at all this pink. This is all elevated to critical fire threat coming with all this dry air, and there is some winds that could help spark up a fire in your area. So let me go through these warnings real quick because everybody needs to know about these warnings. This is literally affecting millions of people, different kind of watches and warnings. So your severe weather for today, you do have chances for wind. There's 5% for Texas and the Northeast, and you have chances for hail coming with what's over here by Texas. But you still have that tornado threat. You have a 2% area for today. So your tornado threat for today is possibly affecting over 12 million people. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Baltimore, Maryland, Washington, D.C., Arlington, Virginia, and Alexandria, Virginia. But we also have the big fire threat for today. All this in the peach, this is all elevated, and all this in this red is critical chance for fires today. Now, the strongest area for the fire threat is the critical. It is affecting over 7 million people. Kansas City, Missouri, Omaha, Nebraska, Wichita, Kansas, Lincoln, Nebraska, and Overland Park, Kansas. Now, tomorrow is going to be a little bit of downtime. You don't have any tornado, wind, or hail threat for tomorrow. But your fire threat is still going to be there for tomorrow, and it's going to move further to the south with all this dry air. So for tomorrow, for Friday, you have elevated in all this peach, but all this red is chances for fires, a critical chance. So for Friday, still over 1 million people at risk in Wichita, Kansas, Cheyenne, Wyoming, Salina, Kansas, Hutchinson, Kansas, and Laramie, Wyoming. And you can see when you look at your relative humidity, you got a lot of dry air coming in this region. That's why it is raising your fire threat. You have winds moving in as well. And for tomorrow, this will move further to the south. This is high resolution rapid refresh. Get your best look. Big pocket of dry air in the area. And you do have these winds pushing through. And you can see it is strong winds stretching all the way out. And that's what I read to you in the beginning. People reading all these high winds. But with all that dry air, it gives you your chances for your fires as well. Then for tomorrow, you can see it flares right back up. Not a huge area, but there is some more winds. And it is going a little bit further south with that dry air, so you need to watch out for fires for tomorrow as well. Now Saturday, as this precipitation starts coming from that cutoff low and coming across the center U.S., you do have a 5% chance for severe weather for Saturday. Now this will be affecting over 6 million people. Memphis, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, Little Rock, Arkansas, Clarksville, Tennessee, and Fort Smith, Arkansas. Now remember, I have this link in the description for you as well. I took myself out to picture so you can see. For today, you do still have that marginal and that slight risk in the northeast for the storms that you do have, and it is going to be more of this flash flooding. For tomorrow, it's going to move to the New England states. So remember, go to this link, zoom into your area. You can see exactly if you're in the risk. And for Saturday, it is going to start bringing the flooding to the southwest, a big marginal area and a slight risk for Arizona. Now, this storm is bringing flash flooding to Tucson and Phoenix, the heaviest. So please be aware of that threat for flooding, guys. This is for Saturday. And as you go through Sunday, it stretches even more. It goes from New Mexico into Texas. And it is a slight risk, not a marginal, straight to a slight risk. And as you keep on going, this is going to move further to the east. Now, according to National Weather Service, the next 67 hours is the latest run. You can see all the trail of the rainfall coming just within the next couple of days. All this is all a half an inch, But all this blue is starting to get towards the inch. It's going to start getting heavier as this trains even more. You can even see with the Euro, the update with the Euro the next 4 days. That's all you can see with the 6Z. You can see how the precipitation is starting to get heavier as it comes across, and this will add up to more. You can see this on the previous run of the Euro up to the 90 hours. It's almost about the same. All of it's showing it's going to be heavier, mostly towards north and northeastern Texas. But as we keep on going, as the rest of the system comes by, it is going to bring a lot more rainfall towards southwestern and southern Texas. So there is a lot of rain coming y'all direction. But that's the latest update. I hope that it was good enough information for you. I hope for some of you it wasn't too much information. God bless you all. May you have a very blessed day today. I appreciate your time checking in with me today. Now today I want to read to you John 13, verses 33 through 36. Real quick message, but very powerful. Little children, yet a little while I am with you, ye shall seek me. And as I said unto the Jews, whither I go, ye cannot come. So now I say to you, a new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another. As I have loved you, that ye also love one another. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if ye have love one to another. Simon Peter said unto him, Lord, whither goest thou? Jesus answered him, Whither I go, thou canst not follow me now, but thou shalt follow me afterwards. Amen. Thank you so much for your time, guys. Have a great rest of y'all day. All glory always goes to God, now and forevermore. Amen. Hallelujah. Have a great day, everybody.